Apple, Samsung, Google, they've got a massive problem, and it's this phone. This is the new Motorola Edge. I've got this thing before it even hits stores. Think of this as an Android take on the iPhone Air, except this costs under $600. Now, to pull that off, Motorola did have to make one major compromise. I'm putting it side by side with the iPhone Air to see which one is thinner, which one feels better in the hand. But first, let's see if that textured design and what's inside the box lives up to the Motorola hype. Check out the shiny box, the Motorola Edge 2026 edition. All right, inside this box, what do we got here? You can see when you open it up, you're presented with this little packet which contains a USB-C to USB-C cable, pretty standard stuff here, and some basic instruction manuals, a quick start guide, and this is kind of cool, a little packet containing the SIM ejector tool, nice they include that still, and then wrapped in paper is the phone itself. I think these paper wrappers are more eco-friendly. We're seeing a lot of these phone makers use this now, and this is the Motorola Edge 2026 edition. First impressions, this phone feels really good in your hand. And look at the back of this. They call this Twill inspired. Not sure what it's actually made out of, but it feels like a fabric, and I think it looks really sharp. That color is very cool too. Here are the 3 cameras on the back, 2 50 megapixel cameras, and then a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, and then you've got your 4th circle, which is your flash. But I like how they made it symmetrical on the back there. You've got gold accents, which really help to kind of make this phone look high-end, and look how thin this phone is. I know it's not quite as thin as the iPhone Air. I'll show you more side by side in a minute, but it still feels really thin because the edges are kind of rounded. On the right, you've got your power button and of course a volume rocker above it. On the top, not much going on there, just a couple of microphone holes, it appears. On the left-hand side, you've got your Moto AI button, which we're seeing on a lot of these phones now. And then on the bottom, you've got a couple of speaker holes, another microphone hole, your SIM tray right there. Of course, you've got a USB-C port as well. This thing looks great, feels great out of the box. Let's get it powered up. After a quick, normal Android setup process with a couple of additional Motorola software tweaks to set up as well, we're in the operating system. It feels pretty good, although it is installing apps in the background. It can be sluggish while Android does that, so I'm going to let that do its thing before I make any judgments on the software itself. But I'll take a closer look at the bezels around the display. They're nice and even. They're not super slim, but you know, for the price point of this phone, pretty reasonable bezels and a pretty good look to this phone as well. The cameras on this thing are just downright impressive. Now you get a 50 megapixel selfie camera, a 50 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera, and a 10 megapixel telephoto camera. And these are legit cameras, guys. They're using Sony Lytia sensors. Take a look at some of the photos and videos that I shot with this phone. In my testing, the pictures and the video look fantastic. Now I do want to point out, video records in 4K, but only up to 30 frames per second. You'll have to knock it down to a lower resolution to get 60 frames per second. And I definitely have to talk about the processor inside the Edge. It is the MediaTek Dimensity 7450, which isn't a bad processor by any stretch, but it's not a Snapdragon. And this is how they can keep that cost down. This is that compromise I'm talking about. And to be totally honest, these MediaTek processors used to be really bad. Frankly, they've gotten so much better over the past few years. And for most people, unless you're doing high-end gaming or resource-heavy media stuff on this phone, I think this is plenty of power for everyday usage and general apps. Now, I also mentioned that this is mostly vanilla Android, but Motorola does add their own AI software on top, as well as that AI button on the side, which is fine. I'm partial to the Google Gemini AI tools. I think they're just much better. I do love the Motorola gestures. These have been around for years, since Google owned Motorola, but they're really cool. For example, a double flip of the wrist jumps you right into the camera app, and then a double chop turns on the flashlight for you. Chop it again, and it turns the flashlight off. I know it seems kind of gimmicky, but I'm telling you, they're super useful once you learn to use them. I hope those gestures stick around. All of this said, I gotta go back to the design and the feel of the phone, that textured back. It sounds silly and superficial, but it's a really important part of any phone. It's gotta feel good in your hand, and I'm really impressed with how good and high-end the Edge feels in the hand. I do want to point out, they call this the Edge because it used to have that Edge screen that kind of curved over the edge. Well, this is the first time they've gotten rid of that. You'll see the screen is a lot more flat, and I think a lot of people will be happy with that. I'm not not sure everyone liked the Edge screen, but it begs the question, should they even call this thing the Edge anymore if it doesn't have the Edge screen? I'm not sure, but I will say the flat screen is a welcome change. And as thin as this thing is, clearly it is an iPhone Air competitor, so let's check it out alongside the iPhone Air. You can see the screen sizes are almost exactly the same. The iPhone has that island at the top, whereas the Motorola has the little punch out for the camera. And then just on the side profile, you can see in terms of thinness, I think the iPhone Air wins this, and the specs do confirm that the iPhone Air is slightly thinner, but they both feel incredibly thin, incredibly light, and I actually like the way the back of the Motorola Edge looks compared to the iPhone Air. You may disagree, and comment below, let me know what you think, but I think the Motorola Edge has more design and style, whereas the iPhone Air is designed to be just more simplistic. But really, similar phones, similar sizes, and similar feel in your hand. So why the heck should Apple and Samsung and Google be worried about this budget phone from Motorola? Now, it's not because this is more powerful than the iPhone, the Galaxy, or the Pixel. It's because it's good enough for most people. It's powerful enough for most people, and it takes great pictures, and most importantly, it doesn't feel like a budget phone. And I think that might be reason enough to lure many people to a $600 Motorola phone instead of, let's say, an $800 Galaxy S26, for example. Bottom line, the mid-range phones are getting so much better these days, and Motorola just entered the ring. Do you think I'm nuts? Call me out, comment below. I love reading your take because frankly, this is just my opinion. And do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more cool videos coming your way. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.